So, this is the Leaving Cert Foundation paper 2022, question 2. So, we'll start off by reading the question. There are 600 students in a school in total. 40% of these students are boys, 15% of these boys had red hair. Work out how many red-haired boys there are in the school. So, when you're dealing with percentages, just always think, start off there by getting 40% of them which are boys. So 40% just means 40 out of 100. So 40 over 100. If you're to write that as decimal, it'll be 0.4. So to get 40% of an amount, to get a percentage of an amount, we just multiply. So take the full amount, which is 600, and multiply it by your percentage, which is 0.4. 600 multiplied by 0.4 gives you an answer of 240. So that means that there's 240 boys in the school. We now need to know what percentage of those boys had red hair. So we were told that 15 of the boys had red hair. So that's 15% of that new quantity. So 15% of the full amount. So the full amount of boys is 240. And 15 as a percent is 15 per 100. So 15 over 100 gives us a decimal of 0.15. So we want 15% of this amount. So we just multiply those two together and we get 36. So the answer there was that 36 boys had red hair. That was worth 5 marks. So that brings us into part B. In a survey, 200 men and 160 women were asked if they walked to work. Altogether, 2/5 of the people in the survey said they walked to work. Work out the total number of people that were in the survey. So we know there was 200 men and there was 160 women. So we add them both together and we get 360 people in total. So there was 360 people surveyed, and that was worth 10 marks. Part 2. Work out the total number of people in the survey who said that they walked to work. So we know the full amount of people that walked to work was 360. And again, this time we're getting a fraction of an amount. So we want to know 2/5 of the people that were surveyed said they walked to work. So we want to get 2/5 of the full amount. So 2/5 multiplied by 360 gives you an answer of 144. And again, guys, you should be using your calculators for these. Any questions that we're doing in the foundation paper, you should just be using the calculators. It makes things easier for yourself. So type that into your calculator and you get an answer of 144. And that was worth 5 marks. So that brings us on to the last part of that question. And the last part said, 3/10 of men in the survey said that they walked to work. Work out how many women in the survey said that they walked to work. Okay, so 3/5 of the men walked. So we know that 3/5 of the men walked. So how many men was there in the survey? There was 200 men. So we know that from the question. There was 200 men. Now, if we know that 3/10 of them, it was 3/10, wasn't it? Yeah, it was. So if we know 3/10 of 200 walked, that means that the number of men that walked to work, it was 3/5 of the full amount. So again, we're multiplying. So 200 multiplied by 3 over 10 gives you an answer of 60. So if we know that there was 60 men that walked to work, and we also know the total number of people that walked to work was what? Let's go back and look. The total number of people who said they walked to work was 144. So we know that from here. So the total number of people that walked is 144. We can take our 144, which is the full amount of people that walked to work, and we can subtract the 60, which was the 60 men, and that leaves us with 84. So that means that there was 84 women that walked to work. That was for 10 marks, and that's the end of question 2.